Hello everyone, this is Yana from Immeasurable, and thank you for tuning in to another one of Immeasurable's inspirational moments. Today I want to talk to you about staying positive in a negative situation. The Bible tells us in Romans 8:28, it says, "And we know that all things work together for the good of those that love Him, and to those that are called according to His purpose." And to be honest with you, I never really understood what that scripture meant until I read a story about the shipwrecked man. This story helped me, and I hope this story will do the same for you. Now, there once was a sailor. Now, this sailor was very upset, depressed, and frustrated about a lot of things that happened in his life. He didn't know what to do. So he knew he had to get away. He didn't know where he was going, but he knew he was going somewhere. So one day, he decided to load up his boat, fill it up with enough food and clothes to last him for a couple of months. So he left. He sailed for days. He sailed for weeks, even months. And then one day, something mysterious happened. A storm came. This was a very bad storm. And in this storm, the wind was blowing. The rain was coming down so hard. The lightning was crackling all over. And the man found himself losing control of the boat. And then all of a sudden, boom! He crashed right into an island. Now at this particular time he wasn't worried because he knew he had enough food to last him for a couple of months. But day after day, it began to rain all the time. And he found himself being cold and sick and very miserable. So he decided one day he had to do something to get out the cold. So he said, you know what, I'll build me a hut. And this hut is going to protect me from all the rain and storm. So what he did, he went out into the island. He found wood and sticks and vines and whatever he could find to build his hut. Now it took him quite some time. It took him maybe about 3 weeks. But on that third week, he was finished and he was proud of this little hut. He said, this is going to be my dream home. And it was. But lo and behold, another thunderstorm came. Now this thunderstorm was even worse than the first one. This storm was a lot harder. The rain poured down a lot worse. And the lightning was crackling very loud. Now this man was very frightened because he didn't think that his hut was going to uphold all the storm that was going on. And he was right, because all of a sudden the lightning hit the top of his little hut and it began to burn. And smoke was everywhere. He knew he had to leave, but he didn't want to leave his hut. But he had to run and get to safety. So he found himself outside of the hut by a tree. And he found a hole where he could bury himself into to stay protected from the storm. All he could do is cry and look over to his hut and see it burn down. And he began to cry out to God because he was very mad and angry and upset. He couldn't understand how something that only took him 3 weeks to build burned down in less than 2 seconds. So he was upset with God. And he said, God, why would you allow something like this to happen to me? Why would you take away the most important thing that I had in my life? Why would you take it away from me? He didn't get an answer. Only thing he could do was look across the ground and see his house just deteriorate. But about a half an hour later, the storm ceased. And he began to look across the waters and he finally saw a ship that was coming close to the island. And a few minutes later, this ship stopped on the island. And a man got off the ship and he said, hello? Hello? Is anybody in this island? And the shipwrecked man said, hey, yeah, over here, it's me. And this man on the ship said, well, I saw some smoke coming up from the horizon. I didn't know where the smoke was coming from, so I decided to investigate. The man was so excited. Needless to say, he was able to go home back to his family. So I said all this to say, a lot of times we go through things in life and we never understand why. We never understand why we have to go through so much pain or why we have to go through so much turmoil. But I want to challenge you today. When you find yourself just like the man who was shipwrecked, when you find yourself in that smoke and you can't see and you can't breathe and you can't see no way out, what you need to do is send up a signal for help. And that signal that we all have is prayer. If you learn to pray, the more you pray, I promise you, God has to answer you. He has to come to your rescue. So this is what I want you all to do. If you enjoyed that story, as well as the many other stories that I have, I need you to make sure you like this video and make sure that you comment. And if you're going through any kind of situation and you'd like me to write a story about it, just let me know. I will be glad to get your input on whatever it is that I'm doing. I would love to be of help. So please, don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, and also don't forget to go to Immeasurable's free app in the Play Store of your phone and download the app. We have some exciting cash giveaways for the holiday seasons and you don't want to miss it. Again, this is Yana from Immeasurable, and thank you for tuning in to another one of Immeasurable's Inspirational